Alright guys, we're going to learn how to better use Excel, the mobile application, some of the different options, filters, how to do some real basic functions in the field live from whatever mobile device you're operating off of. This is an Android platform specifically. I know that Apple will be a little different. I do not have an Apple device to do this from, but the same key features should still apply, so I think you'll be fine. Alright, so with that, you can select each one of these boxes individually. It's pretty simple, straightforward. If you need to expand and select more of individual boxes, you click on that little arrow tab there, or not the arrow, the little circle, and you can expand and do whatever you got to do from that point. You can use either of the circles to do it from, and that way if you want to say copy paste, you have the two little pieces of paper on top of each other, you can just click on that, and it's going to copy that. You can come over here, select that box. So when you first tap on it, nothing pops up. Tap on that same box again, it's going to pull up this option menu. You can hit the clipboard and paste it, and it'll pop right up. If for any reason you did something you didn't want to do, then you are free to just hit the undo button up here, and it's going to undo that entirely to where that's not even a problem. And you don't really, if your boxes stay highlighted like this, it's really not a big deal, because the moment you go to input something, it's going to it's not going to matter much at the end of the day. So just so you're aware of that. Okay, moving on. So say you want to input something into it, you are able to come in here. Say I wanted to change the data that's inside of this box here that I'm selecting, column C, row 4. Once I do that, I can come up here to this top column where the word, you see this FX feature, and you can click up there, and it should bring up your keyboard, and you can edit, change, do whatever you need to do. Once you're done, hit the green check mark. That's going to confirm what you inputted in there. If you have something that has no data at all in it, just click on that box you want to update the data in. Click on the white box up top. Again, input with your keyboard. You can voice text, whatever you need to do. Hit the check mark. If say you input something in there you didn't mean to, you just hit the red X, and it's going to clear whatever it is you were trying or you had inputted in there. As you can see, I have some boxes here that are already highlighted. So if you want to highlight an entire row to label it for any reason, you can use these numbers here on the side to do that. Or if you want to highlight multiple rows, you can come in and use this little white circles to drag down and hit multiple rows all at the same time. Okay, so you say you highlighted something and you didn't mean to do that. All you have to do is just click off of it somewhere, and it will just completely clear that altogether. So let's say I want row 8 to highlight, and so what you can do is once you select that row, you come down here to the very bottom, you see the little paint can. You're going to click on that paint can, and you're going to have a whole color table initially. What I suggest is come down here just below that. You're going to see it say for standard colors, and then choose one of these colors here. So say we're going to do that red, then you've got that whole row is red now for whatever labeling purpose you needed it for. Say you highlighted one you did not mean to highlight, or say you want to remove the highlight off of one, you could come down here and hit the no fill, and it's going to take it back as if it never had anything to begin with. So that will assist with that. So that's how you can do that. The same exact process works on the columns. So this whole top row is your columns. The side row on the left is your rows. So you just come up here to whatever column you want, hit the paint can, select the color, whatever. The same exact process works. You can, so say this pops up here, and it doesn't have to be this. Anything comes up down here that it's in your way. You've got this little arrow here off to the right towards the bottom. You can select that arrow. It's going to minimize whatever menu is pulled up. Again, these little white circles are there for you to drag and highlight and do different things. So utilize that as needed. Say you were working on a spreadsheet and you needed to have an extra column inside of your table to do whatever necessary. Okay, so we're going to click, and you're going to see an insert automatically pop up. Click on insert. It's going to insert a column there. It's going to have all the same formatting as the columns around it, and you can click on that column header. Click off. There you go. So click on that column header. It's going to come up here. We can then type in whatever we need to type in to label it. Hit the green check. And then now you've got a fresh column you can start inputting data into. We're going to undo that so we don't actually need it. Same exact process on the rows. So we come in here, we can hit insert on a row. It will automatically insert it. Now something to keep in mind is if you're inserting a row, if you click on 8, it's going to place a row on 8, and whatever this data that's in row 9 now was the data that's in row 8. So all the data in that row that you selected originally gets bumped down a row. It doesn't get cleared or deleted. It just gets moved down, and you know, that row that you had selected now becomes blank, but it keeps all the formatting of the table around it. So if you watch here, I'm going to hit undo. Everything in row 9 will bump up into row 8, just like so. The same thing happens here, except if you know, I added a row here, I selected D, and I inserted. Now everything in row D moved over to E, and D became a fresh blank column inside my table. So just so you're aware, if you are going to add rows or do anything like that, that's how you can do that. And you can easily do that for a so if you're working off of a table like this, so everything is highlighted in the special little box as the table. Everything outside of that is just open source fields that don't have any kind of formatting to them. So anytime you are doing so, say you run out of room on your spreadsheet and you need more columns or more rows down here at the bottom or something, and then I suggest just coming in wherever needed, you know, 26, whatever, and just insert however many rows you need until you get to the number you want, and you'll be fine. That way you're not having to worry about copy pasting, formatting, or anything else. It'll automatically do what you need it to there. Now say you say I had a bunch of jobs over here I wanted to mark as done. Okay, so what you can do, and this is called a fill, I can come over here, type in done, hit the check mark, and then hit this circle and drag it down and say all these are done. I do that, and then you see this autofill. I'm going to hit that, and it did not do it for the entire thing. What did I do wrong? Oh, fill. There it is. Okay, so I did it wrong. What I meant to hit was to do that, you hit done, hit the fill, and then you drag it, and it's going to fill that data in automatically for you. That way you're not having to mass input the same thing over and over. You can just do an autofill. Now let's say, and this is very useful if you're creating spreadsheets, right? So let's undo this. So let's say you had unit 1, okay? I did not test this beforehand. I want to see if it'll let me do it. Let's say you had unit 1, and down here we got unit 2. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight all of this and hit auto. Let me back that up. Bear with me. Unit 2. Autofill. There we go. So the same thing, right? So say you have unit 1 through 20 or whatever. You can input unit 1, unit 2. Actually, it may do it just off of unit 1. We can test that. Let's see. I got unit 1. I don't know if it's gonna actually, yep. So yeah, you fill in unit 1. You know, you've got AHU 1 through 20. You hit that fill. I'll do that one more time so you can see it. So I manually inputted unit 1, clicked on it, to select it, pushed on it a second time to pull up the menu. I hit fill. It brings up these green boxes. Press and hold and drag that down. You can see unit 7 selected, 6, 5, release, and it will automatically input all of that data for me. Okay. Very, very useful tool, especially when you're creating a spreadsheet and you need to do a bulk data input. Autofill, or the fill portion, is an extremely useful asset to do that with. Okay, so just another tool, another thing you have available in your arsenal for doing this. Let's see. Another thing is down here at the very bottom. In the bottom left corner, you're going to see the this little white box with little tabs on the bottom. If you select that, you're going to see that I have multiple spreadsheets inside of this spreadsheet. And so what that does for you is, you know, you can have different sheets, you can rename them, you can do various things with them. So if you are working from a sheet, you know, and you don't know if it has other sheets built into it, select that box. It will show you. You can also use the plus arrow over here to add sheets to that job. To remove that, just click on that box again. It's going to remove it. This other box here with the little blue squares internal to it, this is a very neat little feature I've only recently discovered by accident, actually. I was helping another technician set up his phone, and we just happened to click on this. This is something I didn't realize is a newer update to Excel mobile. But if you click on this, it brings up all the rows. So you got row 4 over here in their own individual little box. So it makes it a little easier to navigate and edit and do things with and input data as needed. So if this view helps you at all or benefits you, you know, I would suggest maybe using this. I will warn you, this view does not carry all of the same features that you can do from the main view, but you are able to do quite a bit. So, you know, we could input the data, you know, everything that you would do, just click on each box, input it, whatever, move to the next row or next unit. And so you can cycle through each one. So there's a lot you can do with this. I do encourage you to kind of play with it to see if this is something that's functional for you. But again, it is limited on its ability to process data compared to the main screen. To exit back out of that, just hit the X button. It's going to take you back to the main. So, and if you want to specifically select a certain column to pull up first, you're going to do that. It's going to go straight to that cooling tower 3. You can input whatever data, hit X, come back to the main, select another one, hit that box. It's going to take you to it, so forth. So just kind of a quick menu to that, so you're not cycling through that entire page every time. Another thing you can do is use filters. So I can, with these little arrows right here at the in the header of your table, that's a built-in filter to where you can, if you click on that little arrow, you can sort all of the data inside that field, and or inside that column. You can, so it just kind of helps organize the data. Say you were going and inputting air handlers unit by unit, and then you needed to you wanted to go back and organize it, make it look pretty, line everything up a certain way. You can use these filters to do that and sort all the data so that everything lines up the way you want it to. And you've got multiple options on how to do that. You can do that with any of the columns that are available. Again, to get back out of that menu option, just hit the X button and it will take you out of it. Let's see, what other useful features? So you've got a variety of table or views here. So what I did was, in this bottom right corner, I clicked on the up arrow. And over here on the left side, you've got the menu options. So you've got a variety of things you can do with this spreadsheet. If you want to make something bold or italicize, just, there's a lot of capabilities here. This is not things that most of you will probably require, especially if you're working with pre-made sheets you already have made for you, or even if you're creating a sheet that's really not that necessary. Now, here's one thing I will show you how to do, and that is create tables. So we will scroll over here where we don't have a table, and I'm going to select a few boxes, and let's see, we're going to come down and pull up our sub menu, and I'm over here on the insert menu, and I'm going to click on table. Just by doing that alone, it added to the entire table, and you saw on there that it gave me the option to have a header row. Okay, highly suggest that. Really, most of your tables, you're creating a table because you need some sort of header on it. So you have other options that can do different things. Again, most of the time you're not going to be needing to go that in depth, but this is how you can create those mobily, quick and easy. Go in, create whatever you need to call your headers, title those, build your sheet, and roll with it. Okay, if you don't like what you did, or say you created more rows than you meant to. Okay, so say you only needed 4 rows and not 5. Okay, well, so we're going to come over here, we're going to select these other rows, we're going to delete, and they're gone. Now you're down to the 4 rows you originally intended to create. Okay, so just more features, more things you can do. We're going to clear out of that. I'm going to undo everything I just created because we don't actually need it. Updating the name. This is one of my project spreadsheets that I create. Helps me keep track of a job, but just something I do personally. You can just click on the name of that and update whatever name you want, and it will automatically accept that name and save it in the system for you. One thing about spreadsheets is, you see this is saving. Spreadsheets are always automatically updating, as long as you have auto update turned on. Let me open this back up. Yeah, right here. So auto save is on. I highly recommend you leave that on at all times. I don't think it's necessary to delete that or to not have that on. And yeah, I think that's about it. That's some of your very basic entry-level features that this system carries, that you can do, that you can use on a daily basis. This system goes a lot deeper. There's a whole lot more you can do with this. In my opinion, Microsoft has done an excellent job in creating an extremely useful platform in Excel mobile that works very, very well. I will also note that you'll see the little sight glass up here, or spyglass. That is so you can try to search, AHU in a spreadsheet, and it will take you to whatever is in that form. So say this form had 100 something units in it. You can use this search feature to search within that spreadsheet. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, you can also share up here. Click on this little share symbol. I think we're all pretty familiar with that. You can share a copy, or you can send a copy. I usually send one. And you can either send it as an Excel workbook or as a PDF. And that is actually sending the physical sheet. If you use one of these other options up here above that, you're not actually sending the sheet itself. You're sending a link online to your sheet. That somebody has to have that link in order to get access to that sheet that you're sharing. So most of the time, in most cases, you're going to actually trying to be sending the physical sheet itself. So use that. It's going to direct you to whatever, typically an email server that you run off of. In my company's particular case, we use Outlook. And yeah, you can use that to send that spreadsheet out, get that to wherever you need to go. Let's see. I think it's about it, guys. Okay, I'll leave it there. It was already, let's see here. It was already over 20 minutes worth of stuff. So, hope this helps. Hope this gets you a lot of the information that you're looking to get, you need. And, let me know if you have any questions. Appreciate it, guys.